Hi, and welcome to the first of the DTA screencasts, and let me just introduce myself. My name is Bill, and I'm going to be looking after you whilst we go through your A-level specification, and today's session is on the skeletal system. This is going to be session 1, so let's get started. So first of all, there is some assumed knowledge from your GCSEs. That's the names of the bones, the joints, and also the joint types. So let's have a look at some of those. So when you have a look at this diagram, what I want you to do is pause the screencast and identify all of the bones of the joints that you know. So just pause the screencast now. Okay, so welcome back. Now, looking at this diagram, what you should be able to do is identify some of the more technical vocabulary that we use at A-level compared to what you would have done at GCSE, primarily around the hip, the foot and the hands. So you can see that there's different types of bones as well. So there's the flat bones, for example the sternum, there's the long bones, the femur, and also the irregular bones, vertebrae, carpals, tarsals and sesamoid. Now we're going to be looking at the irregular bones just for a minute or two here, and we'll see how we can apply them. So obviously they're there to give us protection, but also quite unique different types of movement. So what we need to be able to do then, as I've mentioned, is apply that to sporting examples. So let's have a look. What example could you think of that would be appropriate for the vertebrae? Pause the screencast. Okay, so the example that I would probably use here is the high jump. Now, how can we write that out? There is an extension of the vertebrae that allows the high jumper to arc over the bar. Nice and simple. Okay, so the other thing that we need to be able to do is identify the different types of joints. So the classifications of joints are the fibrous, cartilaginous and synovial, and you may have heard them as known as the fixed, slightly movable and freely movable before. So let's look at the synovial joint in a bit more detail. As you can see on the ends of the bones, you've got the articular cartilage, which is that egg-like, smooth but hard surface that prevents friction. And you've also got that joint capsule there, the synovial capsule, that keeps all the synovial fluid in there, which lubricates the joint and again prevents that friction. Really, really important things to note. The other essential part around about the knee is the ligaments. Now these are tough fibrous bands that connect bones to bone. Here in this example you can see the tendon coming down. That shows that the muscle's connected to the bone, and then there are some of the names of the ligaments that are holding that joint firmly together to prevent excessive movement. Okay, so again let's look at a sporting example and think about the application. So here we've got Johnny Wilkinson just about to kick a goal. So the job of the ligament there is to hold that joint firmly together so it allows that movement where the muscles contract and allow the force to be pushed through the ball. Alright, so the other important thing is there, as you saw, is the types of synovial joints. And here, pause the screencast, note these down and then think of examples, other than the ones that you've got there if you can, of the different types of synovial joint, because again, these will be very important. Alright, so just to recap then, we've got assumed knowledge. That's the names of all the bones, names of the classifications of joints, for example synovial, names of examples of synovial joints, and the application of the sporting examples. Okay, so hopefully that will have given you an idea about what you need to come to your first session with. Thanks very much. Speak to you soon.